Well, where I was up to, I was telling you something that was very important. I'm sorry, I seem to have wandered off because of this marijuana. Yeah, Hinduism, where it's marijuana, gets down the Arab Silk Route and trade routes into the Middle East. So, the Jews and the Arabs would have had the marijuana before Rome did. And if Rome noticed through its occupation armies that sections of the populace were demonstrating rebellion or disobedience towards the empire, they would possibly at that point have traced it down to marijuana. So they would have done what every big power has done throughout history. Take control of the marijuana, keep it secret, don't let the populace know about it, and use it amongst the top honchos to enjoy a level of divinity or godhood miles above the heads of their fellows, whereby their fellows are just playthings or pawns in their game. You know, the highness of kings. What is a king? A king is someone who manages to live his whole life without his subjects realising that he's smoking good marijuana regularly and that nobody else is sharing it unless he lets them. I find that fascinating, really, to look at the history of the human race. History is, like Bob Marley said, half of the truth has never been told. It really is that way. I know that in my own lifetime. What has been reported, what has been recorded, what is currently on record even about me is about 50% false. I've seen things happen that were historical that were never reported. I've seen tiny, rubbishy news stories manufactured up into huge mountain stories that are crap, rubbish, just distracting the world's attention from what's actually going on. Anyway, what I was saying is, when you're getting really high on marijuana, or possibly also LSD, maybe both at the same time, like Hermann Hesse. Hermann Hesse was able to embrace these big issues like the whole picture, what is actually happening on this planet, you know? Was there ever a time when the black man was senior to the white man and the black man was killing the white man? Look, at the very beginning of the Jewish Bible, Moses' Bible, it's got a whole generation of giants living on earth. But God says, no, I've changed my mind, I don't want this, and wipes them out. And then starts again. Yeah? What's that about? Early on in the Moses version of history, it says that Jacob and Esau were brothers, and Esau was the brother that the father preferred because he was strong, active, hairy, fit, whereas Jacob was hairless, light-skinned, pallid, not strong or active, more mental than physical. Yeah? was this like a fairy story. What he's saying has happened is that the father preferred the masculine, hairy son, but the mother preferred the albino, the light skin, the hairless face and arms and legs. What it's saying is that the woman mutated the men away from the dark skinned, hairy kind towards the fair, light skinned, hairless ones. They selectively steered things to shape men more the way they wanted them. Anyway, what I was saying is that this hypocrisy we've got. It's always been true that if you've got a leader who's just a bampot, he's just a tyrant, he's just a nutter like Genghis Khan going, I want to be the most powerful man, I want to have the most people under my control, I can kill whole lots just by asking my friends to do it, kill them. Yeah, well, that has always actually dominated our society, and we have peacemaking forces that erupt to overthrow such evil, yet the pattern of history is for the peacemaking process to be taken over by the tyrant and used as just another way of expanding his or her empire. Check it. Know what I mean? Do you think that the King of England actually went to church to ask God if it was right for Britain to go to war? No, but that is the reason he was the king. God said that he would talk to the nation through the king and tell the nation what was right. So, did the king go to speak to God before going to war? Or was the king just issued with a piece of paper saying, this is what you are to read to the nation? I wouldn't bother. You know what the answer is, don't you? But it must have been amusing for old Tolkien, because, man, he's dealing with all these guys at Oxford. He's got the very brightest of British intellect in its raw, virgin, 18-year-old state, just as out of the public school system. And he can play with them by presenting world history and phenomena that are going on in the international arena as fable, based on children's stories that the kids already like. Yeah, I've got a lot of respect for Tolkien. Yeah, that's a cracker of a story, man, because he's looking at, what is actually going on here. We've got one lot of guys on this planet who want to be the biggest, most powerful. That means they want to defeat and eliminate competition. They want to have lots of people working for them and giving them wealth. And yet we've got other people on this planet for thousands of years who are going, we're all supposed to enjoy and share this. We're supposed to help each other. Man can only remain in power if he takes care of those who give him that power, because if not, they will erupt in revolution and get rid of him. Like Marcos.